Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A dramatic crash in Macomb County happens right in front of police.
Troubling test results from near the site of a sinkhole along the Detroit River.
And a man describes what was going through his mind as someone he'd never met attacked him with a knife. Thanks for being with us. The victim says he was just sitting at a bus stop on his way to get breakfast when someone started stabbing him.
And tonight, the biggest question remains, what was it all about? Larry Spruill reported earlier this week on the incident, the intersection of Joy and Greenfield on the city's west side. And he joins us now after talking with that survivor. Larry?
Devin, that victim tells me what happened. He says he was simply getting off the bus at this bus stop. He was trying to walk across the street to that White Castle to get some coffee. That's when he was stabbed multiple times. He tried to get away from his attacker by walking in the middle of the street, but even that did not help. It all started with his daily routine, a simple morning trip to this White Castle at the intersection of Joy and Greenfield on the west side for coffee. This local Detroit man did not want to be identified for two reasons: his safety,
and I came down to the bus stop and there was a man there with a knife,
and his injuries to his face. This swollen eye and cut to the back of his head happened earlier this week around 8:30 in the morning at this bus stop at the intersection of Joy and Greenfield on Detroit's west side. I was there on scene that day.
and he just came and attacked me. Then he held back when I ran into the street. But then he changed his mind and then came into the street and stabbed me in the head, slashed me in the head about 5 times. I thought I was going to die from all the blood.
Police blocked off the intersection where the victim said he ran for his life. Many people I talked to that day believed an argument happened between the two.
I never said a word to him. I never saw him my whole life.
Which is why he does not understand why the man attacked him. He even tried to run away from his attacker straight into traffic to hide.
I thought it would be safe for me, that the cars would prevent him from coming at me, but he just stabbed me right on the middle of the street.
But in the end, he's looking at the bigger picture.
It's made me into a different person. I'm just saying that God gave me a second chance.
And that victim tells me more than likely his recovery process will be a long one. When he was stabbed in the head, it fractured part of his skull, and that piece of that knife is still there. He is facing multiple procedures. We're live on the west side tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Right, so much, Larry. Do we have any word on a suspect in the case?
Well, Devin, they did arrest that suspect the day of the stabbing, and he is facing multiple charges tonight. Devin?
Keep following that. All right, Larry.
We are also following the forecast. It is not looking good.
We're following it, and it's chasing us. It's kind of how it looks right now. We got some big trouble here in the offing, Ben.
We needed to get either much warmer or much colder, but this sort of no man's land that we're going to be sitting in this weekend is trouble, and we'll explain why here in a second. 4-Live radar already starting to show some rain coming in. This is only the very beginnings. We're going to see multiple fits and starts of rain before everything really gets going through the day on Friday and especially on Saturday. That's when the flood watches kick in, midnight Saturday through 4 a.m. Winter storm watches also up for parts of our west and north zone, and that's for the potential of freezing rain becoming significant ice accumulations. Lakeshore flood advisory in effect right now because we're getting winds tonight. They're going to be coming out of the south and southwest. It could bring some lakeshore flooding to parts of Macomb and St. Clair County, and then a flood watch as those winds shift around with the main storm that we're expecting this weekend. So there's a lot to look at. Here's the bottom line. The timing system starts Friday, but the worst of it's going to be on Saturday. Flooding and power outages are going to be the two biggest impacts that we're watching, and both of those could be fairly widespread. The worst of the weather is going to be in our west and north zone, but metro and south zone, you're not getting out of the woods. We're going to explain the timing of this. We'll look closer at that ice accumulation and talk about when this is all going to be over in just a few minutes. Of course, you'll want to stay with the local forecasters all through the weekend, and the app is the best way to do it. It is brand new, and it's got everything you need to survive the storm. Free in your app store by searching WDIV. Guys?
Well, some test results are in. There are metals, including uranium and cyanide, all detected in the soil and water samples at the Revere Copper site where the dock collapsed along the Detroit River.
EPA officials telling Local 4 those metals are below drinking water and soil cleanup criteria. But new tonight, something else was found exceeding the national standards. That something is lead. Let's bring in Local 4 Defender Karen Drew with what she's found, Karen.
Well, Devin and Kim, this is the latest, and I want to show you the statement that I received from EPA in regards to the Revere copper site and their test results, reading in part. One lead sample exceeded EPA's removal management level. EPA is working with Eagle to identify any data gaps and plans to conduct further testing at the site. EPA says the lead does not pose a threat to the general public, but those who live and work along the river are worried as this sinkhole on the site keeps growing. This was 6 weeks ago. Now, take a look at the Local 4 Defender drone. What we caught, this is what it looks like now.
The sinkhole along the Detroit River continues to grow.
It's changing rapidly. One, it's becoming more profound in the sinkhole. And two, the color is quite bizarre. It's this green, funky color, which is different from the river.
Greg Ward runs the Detroit Windsor Truck Ferry. He wants to see a cleanup plan in action before the sinkhole grows even larger.
And all that river erodes into the soil continuously now that there's not a dock. Pretty soon we're going to have ice in the river. That's going to do further damage to the spill site.
How?
Because the ice is very powerful.
Not only is the Jefferson Avenue site that leases to Detroit Bulk Storage under criticism for how it operated and allowed the dock collapse to occur, but get this. Revere Dock, the holding company for Erickson's, who owns the land, owes the city water and sewage department $62,825. After I contacted the city today, DWSD issued a statement reading in part, since October 2016, the parcels have been billed for drainage and the responsible party have not made any payments. The account was in the collections process. Now the city is pursuing legal action. And remember, the defenders reported Erickson's, along with Detroit Bulk, also was just cited for not meeting a December 26th deadline to send Eagle a restoration plan to fix this mess. Eagle continues to simply wait for the company's plan, but not issuing any fines, even though the deadline was not met.
And I did put calls in today to Revere, Erickson's, Detroit Bulk Storage, still waiting to get a response.
Yeah, that's crazy. And what about this water bill?
Can you believe?
I mean, can they just stop the service? If they haven't paid in 4 years, I feel like if it were mine, they would have been stopped.
Right, exactly. We're all paying our bills. Why aren't they? But the problem is it's a drainage bill, so they're not actually getting water. They're supposed to pay for the drainage
service,
so
right.
They can't cut off the water service, so that's not an option. But still, clearly frustrating. No one's policing this. I mean, we've had the dock collapse. We've had them cited because they don't have the remediation, and now they're not paying their bills, and that's taxpayers' money.
Yeah, incredible.
We'll stay on top of it.
And we are going to post all of these important documents in the case at clickondetroit.com. You can read them for yourself at the Defenders page. All right, Karen.
The president and vice president are in Toledo tonight and scheduled to be on stage in less than an hour in what has become the norm for these rallies. Thousands of people waiting in line for hours to get inside. Mara McDonald is live in Toledo. Mara, these events also tend to draw some protesters as well.
They do, Kimberly. I will say we saw a handful of counter-protesters outside. No violence, no problems, just people carrying signs. But if you take a look behind me, Trump 2020 campaign manager Brad Carscale is on the stage right now, and the VP just peeked out from behind the curtain. It looks like this thing is going to be running on time tonight.
Make America great again. $10.
There was a line to get into the Hunting Center starting last night. Some people actually opted to sleep out overnight in tents.
Because there's not like a lot of times that the president's going to come to these places, you know.
Yeah, so I had her get out of school today, so we can miss it and support Trump. He's a great president. I think he's doing great for our economy, and we're proud to be here to cheer him on.
We're waiting on a final count from the fire marshal, but there are clearly thousands of people here, which has been a hallmark of the president's rallies since 2016, including the last one here at this very venue when he was seeking his first term in office.
And I came here to support the president because he's our duly elected president and because he stands for the American people. And I believe that he's doing a job that no one else wanted to do because he's not the norm.
Back here live, it's going to be interesting to see what the president addresses on this stage tonight. Is he going to talk about that downed Ukrainian jetliner in Iran? Is he going to talk about the missile attack on U.S. forces in Iraq? Where are we going tonight? I guess we're going to wait and see. Live in Toledo, I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you. Okay, Mara, thanks.
A deported Lincoln Park father is back home with his family. Jorge Garcia was deported to Mexico 2 years ago. He had been brought to America by an undocumented family member a long time ago at the age of 10, but he was over the age limit for taking advantage of the DACA program. A trial in immigration court failed, so he applied for a pardon in February, and it was just recently approved. His wife, Cindy, tells us he came home just in time for Christmas, and she says he is now a permanent resident.
Time now for a check of the national stories you'll see ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News.
Let's get to Lester Holt standing by in New York with what's coming up tonight. Lester.
Hey, Kim and Devin, coming up, Iran accused of taking down that passenger plane with a missile. This is not the first time this has happened. I'll have a report tonight on the dangers of civilian planes in conflict zones. Plus, royal family drama, what's going on behind the scenes after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's stunning announcement. The Queen now reportedly is involved in all this.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about that story, Lester. And Harry and Meghan don't want to give up all the things that come with being a royal.
Yeah, that's right. They've published a list of things they would like to keep, including a house. We're going to have all the details of this family drama when we see you coming up on Nightly News.
Wild the way it's playing out right in front of our eyes. All right, Lester, that's coming up about 20 minutes from now. Ahead for us here at 6, preparing for some very problematic weather that is headed our way this weekend.
Jamie's back with pro tips on a part of the home people often don't know has failed until their basements already are full of water. We'll have that coming up, and here's Nick.
Take a look at this video. Police footage from the dash cam and the body camera showing the aftermath of an accident, why they were after this guy, and what makes it even worse.
Fast just got faster. Live just got live-er. Download the new Local Forecasters app. Local 4 weather is powered by DTE.